Welcome to all of you. In this session, we are going to discuss about optical network deployment. The major deployment of optical fiber networks is in the area of public telecommunication networks. The present networks can operate at higher speeds with an increased functionality as well as the reliability. Here the diagram shows the typical optical network, which will be of a quite complex manner. Here we can observe from the top the local area network, which is in turn connected to the metropolitan area network, which in turn is connected to a core ring and then to one more metropolitan area network. Then from there will be a proper distribution for satellite communication, for access networks, and also the mobile communication. And on this complete network we can observe a multiplexer at the one end, a demultiplexer at the another end. So in the middle we can observe the optical amplifiers, add drop networks, and then the long haul fiber span. So this is going to be a complete optical network representation. Here we are going to study total 4 different types of networks: long haul network, metropolitan area network, access network, and the local area network. So let us take one after the another. First one, long haul networks. So also known as the backbone and the core networks. So it is going to connect several regions together, and also the nation and almost the globe, we can say. So this involves the connectivity range of this long haul network, also known as the backbone networks. Based on the area of the coverage, the long haul network is subdivided into 3 parts. First one, long haul optical fiber networks. It is going to cover a range of 600 km to 1000 km. Extended long haul known as ELH, it is going to cover 1000 km to 2000 km. Ultra long haul ULH is going to cover 2000 km to 4000 kilometers of range. Now this diagram shows a submerged cable system. Here we can observe totally 2 main wordings: dry plant and the wet plant, and on the other side also we are having this dry plant. So totally these 2 terminologies is what we can observe. So by the name itself indicates, dry plant indicates a terrestrial part of the station, and the wet plant indicates the network which is submerged under the water, usually the sea water we are going to consider. Now this complete network is going to show an interconnection from the land station to the submerged station, or a interconnection between a landing station and a wet plant station. This is the one side and this is the another side. We are going to have in between, we are going to have this wet plant. Now coming to the metropolitan area networks, also known as MAN. The name itself is going to indicate metropolitan. So it is going to cover the metropolitan cities. So that's why we can simply say it as metropolitan area network. So this is going to provide the regional interfaces, and it interconnects the access network, that is at the lower part of the metropolitan area network, and the long haul networks, which comes to the next level of the metropolitan area network. So this is going to act like an intermediary between the access networks and the long haul networks. This diagram shows a typical structure of the metropolitan area network, usually considered as a ring topology. Here we can observe ring 1, ring 2, 2 rings interconnected by a digital cross connector. DXC indicates a digital cross connection. So from this there will be a further extension either to the access networks or to the long haul network. Coming to the access networks, it is an element of public telecommunication network that connects access nodes to either an individual user or to the man. So it can be observed that almost end part of the networking area stands with this access networks, where we can observe the individual users and this office representation, and next to this it will go to the metropolitan area network. Therefore we can say that the access networks are intermediary between the individual users and the metropolitan area network. So in this diagram shows a typical access network where we can observe the individual users. 4 different types of possible connectivities are represented, and then a local office we are going to have. Now let us go through these individual connections that are being represented. So access networks can provide all these types of services. That is, the first one, it can provide a satellite communication to a remote location of an individual user. Second one, it can also provide the radio communication, what we can observe tower like structure here. So that is going to represent the radio communication, that is Wi-Fi, WiMAX capability. It is going to provide a wireless kind of communication. In general we can say that. In the second one we can observe twisted pair copper cable network we are going to have. Usually the telephone and the telephone based internet facility wired communication. So we are going to have this twisted pair copper cable connectivity to the individual user. Then hybrid coaxial fiber. So this we are going to study in the next slide with a little bit detail. So I'm not going to explain this here. So the last one is the optical fiber. So directly a dedicated optical fiber link to the end user for the high-end capability of the usage. So this diagram is a continuation of the access networks. So here we are going to discuss about the hybrid fiber coaxial. The term hybrid itself is going to indicate that we are going to make use of more than one kind of cable. Here it is fiber and the coaxial cables. We are going to have 2 different types of cable, and hence the name hybrid fiber coaxial. In the diagram we can observe that first part we are going to have this optical fiber which is going to cover 5 to 50 km, then an optical node, then the coaxial cable we are going to have. Such types of networks are typically used for the cable TV networks. In today's world also the same kind of network is in existence. Usually for a long networking connection of this cable television, so basically they make use of the optical fibers. That means from one place to the another place, something like one city to the another city, for the transmission of the data they are going to make use of the optical fibers, and for within the city distribution they are going to make use of the coaxial cables. These coaxial cables can cover up to 500 to 2000 homes with the intermediary line RF amplifiers for the amplification of the signals. So this is what we are going to have, a hybrid coexistence, that is hybrid fiber coaxial, which will be typically used for the cable TV network. Now the access networks can be of any of these type. So type, transmission medium, the rate of transmission, standards we are going to have. So I just go through this type. So it can make use of cable modems, ADSL, then VDSL, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, fiber access networks. All these we observed previously in the diagram itself. So any of these types of network facility can be provided by the access networks. So transmission medium, like that, the rate of transmission, and the international standards that is designated for that particular type of communication is being represented over here. Now moving to the local area networks, LAN. So the term itself is going to indicate it is going to cover the local area. So what is the meaning of this local area? This local area may be confined to a single building or something like a single industry. In general we can call it as it belongs to one single establishment. So that establishment can be an educational institution or an industry or anything similar to that. The optical fiber communication in LAN are used to meet the requirements of larger commercial organizations that uses centralized or distributed computing resources. LAN typically operates at the speeds of 10 Mbps to 10 Gbps over a distance of 200 meters to 5 kilometers. Now coming to the network model that LAN is going to make use of. So here we are going to have two models, the OSI network model and one more is the LAN model. Now out of this OSI model, first two layers are being utilized for the communication with respect to this LAN. So that is physical layer and the data link layer are being utilized. So that's why in the LAN model it consists of physical, MAC and LLC. So MAC and LLC are the sub layers of the data link layer. So MAC stands for Media Access Control Sublayer, whereas the LLC stands for Logical Link Control Sublayer. So since LAN is not going to make any communication outside its own network, only these two are sufficient for all kinds of security, addressing, transmission medium detection and the mode of the directing the mode of the transmission. For everything only this much will be sufficient. So if it is required to go out of the actual network, then we need to go with the higher layers, which is not being done in case of LAN. So that's why the LAN model is confined only for physical layer, MAC layer and the LLC layers. This completes this session. Thanks for joining.